to a brand new episode of the Skylanders Giants Legendary Locke, and today I have a surprise for you. But what might the surprise be? None other than this guy. So, what the hell is this guy doing back in the Locke? You guys are probably thinking, wasn't he defeated in the last episode? And yes, that is indeed true, and of course, as Locke would go whenever a Skylander is defeated, you cannot play as them again because their class is dead. But the problem is that I seem to have lost my legendary stuff off, as I mentioned in episode 11, and I cannot seem to find her anywhere. I've checked high and low, and she is nowhere to be found. So clearly, I cannot finish this series without her, so I've decided to bring Spyro back. But how can I do this? I've already used the revive bulb on Trigger Happy, you guys probably thinking. Well, it turns out there was actually a secret power-up this whole time, called the Sacrifice. And what the Sacrifice is it allows me to sacrifice one legendary variant in favour for another. So what I did is I sacrificed my legendary stuff off, because I cannot seem to find her, so I can't play as her anyway, for legendary Spyro instead, because we all know how he died in the previous episode, one hit away from defeating Drill X. We are not accepting that defeat for this guy, so he's back, and he's stronger than ever. And you guys are probably thinking, well, if there's this so-called secret power-up, how come I haven't told you about that yet, guys? Well, that's because it's a secret! Okay, so let's advance without further ado to chapter 12, I believe it is, with our newly acquainted Spyro, putting us down to only 4 characters. Wow. We have 5 levels left with 4 characters. We cannot afford any more losses. Absolutely not. So the 4 characters that we have left that are undefeated is none other than Legendary Trigger Happy, Legendary Slam, Legendary Igniter, and Legendary Spyro. Which is unfortunate that we've gotten to such a limited palette so early on into the game. I was kind of hoping we wouldn't be this low until the final level. But hey, hopefully we can still slug through this thing right here. I'm sure we'll beat the Locke, hopefully that is, and hopefully I don't jinx myself by saying that.
Skyland's finest pilot and his entourage.
It's our village! It's been overrun by creeps!
That is not cool. Let's take these creeps down.
That seems to be happening a lot these days. Anyways, we're actually here to find someone named the Oracle. Seen him around anywhere?
I'm sorry, I can't even think right now. Not with all these creeps running amok.
But don't worry, this is what you got us for. So let's help these guys out without further ado in exchange for information. What a fair exchange indeed, and it looks like it's time for us to swap out for Igniter. Because another thing you would know from the Locke is that, of course, whenever a element of the area pops up, the Skylander corresponding to that element must be played, no questions asked. Whether I like it or not. In this case, I do like it because, of course, I get to play with my boy Igniter. Bring it on, fellas. Boom, and down to go. Yeah, goose for spoils indeed. But either way, I realised that because we have 4 elements left, I've decided that every Skylander from now on will represent 2 elements. So, representing the fire and the undead element is Igniter right here, purely because, I feel like if this guy was to be a dual element, he'd be both fire and undead, because his attacks are so powerful that his enemies will become undead the minute they meet him, pretty much. That's what I'm saying about this right here. Okay, there we go, we found that guy. Yeah, the thing is that we can't get too close to this guy right here, or else he will, attack us from being too close to him, and that's not going to be convenient to say the least. So we've got to keep our distance from that guy whilst trying to take these guys down in close quarters combat. It's not going to turn out good for us, to say the least. Because, like I said, if we attack that guy with melee attacks, then he will indeed, attack us. Oh wow, how convenient, it just happened to be that one right there. If it wasn't that one, we would have been done for right there, but luckily for us, it just happened to be that one, so we got a fortunate way out of that situation right now. Now, the problem with 2 Cyclopses right here, so I got to attack one at once, and then I got to go through the other afterwards. Oh, boom! This guy's at his most vulnerable. By the way, as I was saying about the elements before, so if this guy was to be a dual element, he'd be both fire and undead, purely because, he defeats his enemies so quickly that they become undead the minute they see this guy, pretty much. Oh, pizza, I'll take that, thank you very much. So yeah, that's how that goes. And not only that, but also Skybricks Gaming favourite character is Chop Chop, and Chop Chop is off the undead element, so I decided why not have my favourite Skylander and his favourite Skylander representing each of their respective elements. The only thing is that Chop Chop is defeated, so we can't use him, unfortunately. Okay, that's cool. As they always say, fight fire with fire. Okay, let's get back before it hits us. Thank you, armor. That was convenient to say, boys. Okay, what watch out for Stomp. There's a Stomp. The Stomp has been dealt with. Nice try, buddy. Well, I say nice try, but it wasn't. Darn, that grenade got us right there. But what does it matter? Igniter survived, and that's all it does, in my personal opinion. Because as long as Igniter survives, the Locke is beaten as far as I am concerned. But I've representing the other elements is Legendary Spyro, representing both the magic and earth element. Hilarious how it pops up in a minute, I'm explaining that. But the reason why Spyro is representing the earth element is because I'm going to show you in a second right here. Oh yeah, he's all fired up, alright. Time for the returning recruit to be put in the spotlight. But when it comes to his upgrades right here, if we go to his soldier ability, you will see that he literally has an earth pound right here. It has earth in the name, so of course he's going to represent the earth element as well. So just to repeat, Spyro represents both the magic and the earth elements. Then as for tech and life, that's what Trigger Happy will represent, mostly because life is the only element I have left after dedicating one Skylander to 2 elements. And then when it comes to water and air, the final 2 elements, they're going to be represented by Sandman, because of course Sandman is a water Skylander, and water is composed of both hydrogen and oxygen, or where's oxygen found? In the air, so that's why he represents those 2 elements in specific. Watch out, Spyro, let's not defeat you a second time, especially after you've only just got back, so it'd be incredibly embarrassing losing you after such things. Oh nice, we got a delicious pretzel from that, that's convenient to say the least. Let's continue on without further ado. Man, it would really help if Bash was here right now, but it just wasn't meant to be. No thanks to that jawbreaker right there. Yeah, I still fear jawbreakers after that, especially since their hitbox can be quite questionable at times. Like this game picks and chooses when and what the jawbreaker's hitbox will be, because of course, as you saw with Bash, I clearly was not within that hitbox, but somehow it did count it as part of the jawbreaker's hitbox, which is what defeated Bash, which was stupid, and not to mention Bash was gone within 1 hit. That's how stupid Nightmare Mode is. Yes, I did not appreciate of that, to say the least. But anyway, let's head inside here, see if there's any food. There's no food, what a shame nevertheless. But hey, we'll come back to that later on, as you guys shall see. But anyway, as you can see, the element of the area is need magic, so that means we've got to remain as Spyro. So hopefully he will not be defeated in the process, because that would indeed be a disaster. Okay, watch out for that. Oh yeah, we also have 2 power-ups left as well, which is fortunate. We have the healing elixir and instant swap out. So they will come in handy for the last 3 levels, I'm sure, as long as these guys are still surviving then. Oh wow, that was close, that guy almost got us right there, but as always, almost doesn't count, does it? Okay, watch out for this guy. Now, this guy's actually blind, so he can't actually, he can only attack you when he hears you, pretty much. So if you don't move, then he won't hear you, pretty much, is what I'm saying right here. So what I'm saying here is, when it comes to those guys, keep your distance, and use your fireballs from a range, because that way they won't be able to hear you, so they won't ever be able to attack you. But first of all, we've got to knock the Cyclops off the back, because the Cyclops act as their eyes until you knock them off, with a certain amount of hits. So yes, that's how you deal with the slobbering Muticus. Oh yes, a pizza, exactly what we needed. And not only that, but also added towards our Chowhound objective. So what a double win-win situation nevertheless. Wait, what we could have done is we could have destroyed those hurts with these rocks right here, but unfortunately we don't have any giants left, so we can't destroy those hurts with such rocks. And not to mention, we don't have a giant of magic elements anyway. We're currently in the Crystalline Mines with this Mohawk Cyclops dude right here, so looks like he wants a game with Sky Stones. So are we going to beat him at him? Of course we are!
No.
Beat him at his own game.
We want that key, huh?
And if you guys wondering where they got the idea for Quick Shot class, it was this guy. Because it turns out that this guy is called Quick Draw, and in fact that's actually the name of a variant as well from Skylanders Swap Force. Quick Draw, Rattleshake to be more specific. So yes, if you're wondering where they got all these quick names from, it's from this guy right here, because he's quick at the draw. Even though I haven't dueled him before, so I wouldn't really know. But when it comes to Sky Stones, however, he's not really, that's not really the case for this guy. I'm sad to report to you guys. Which is sad for him, but good for us, I suppose, it should go as far to say, really. But yeah, that's how those things go right now. Oh no, it's going to take our stone, that's not good. But hey, I have Trigger Happy here, so he'll be a perfect duelist against that guy. So let's go ahead and take this guy's stone for our revenge, using a Gargantua, of course. The most powerful stone you can have in terms of the bottom half. Oh, and look at that, he can't get his stone back. Oh, poor little fella. Let's take him with our Plug Wanderer. Which, when we run into these guys, I'm fearing these guys right now, because these guys are an absolute pain to deal with. I feel like they will be for defeat for many Skylanders. Okay, let's take down this Jawbreaker. This is for Bash! And Bash has been avenged. And for winners of the match, we very much are. We have beaten Quick Draw, even though he was not playing with Trigger Happy. But hey, we don't need a duelist
Not
to take
bad,
down for
Snake,
dueler.
Not bad. Guess you'll be taking that key then.
I know I'm a stranger and I will be taking that key. But hey, although I'm a stranger, I've seen stranger things. Quite literally as well, that show is amazing. In fact, maybe I should elaborate on that a little bit more, because what happened is that Season 2... Oh darn, I didn't actually mean to do that. Stupid motion controls. But yeah, Season 2 of Stranger Things just came out a few weeks ago, in terms of this recording, that is. I watched it and I loved it. Like, generally what happened is that a friend of mine recommended Stranger Things to me. He was like, oh, it's so good, you gotta watch it, and I didn't believe him, but I went ahead and tried it out anyway, and it turns out that I didn't really like the first episode that much, so after the first episode, I wasn't hooked, and I was like, yeah, just so could probably do with a skip, I don't see why so many people love it. But then I continued watching into episode 2, and then I realised, oh, so this is why people love the show, and I was instantly hooked. So yeah, it turns out that that show is great, and it's worth binge watching, because that's the thing, like, when Stranger Things Season 2 came out and I watched it, it's all what everyone at my school was talking about. It's what we was talking about for a solid 3 weeks afterwards. And that's because that show is amazing. It deserves to be talked about. Like, its characters are phenomenal. Its plot is phenomenal. Just everything about that show is awesome. And Season 2 really raised the stakes. Like, they made things for our characters a whole lot more dangerous, I should say. And that's what made things so great about Season 2. And I'd actually say I'd go as far to prefer the first season, mostly because of the characters' development and raising the stakes, as I mentioned previously. And then that was not good right there. We took a nasty hit. Ooh! That was close. That guy would have attacked us if he finished his... that guy would have defeated us even if he finished his... like animation right there, because he was about to swipe us down, but fortunately for us we was barely able to defeat him before we did so, we've very barely managed to escape that situation right there. And what's new Earth element? That means we get to remain as Spyro once more, because Spyro represents the Earth element also. And back to magic we go, but hey, there's a little trial we will happily accept. And if you guys recognise that area over there, that's because that's the area we was in before, and so we can see Auric through this little hole in the wall right here, so let's speak to him and see what he has to offer, hopefully some helpful stuff nevertheless.
Check out my inventory.
Oh yeah, let's check it out nevertheless and see what he's got. So he's got a Lockatron bulb, of course we're going to go ahead and buy this, why the hell would we not? Want it? Then there's also some very powerful stones right here, and a double damage power up, which isn't going to be too useful for us, unfortunately, at this point. We are going to grab the sky stones, and we may as well grab this for now. Now that we've unlocked the previous area, so now what we need to do is charge for it. Oh yeah, and the Earth Pound I told you about before, that's the very power right there. Undead, that means Igniter, because Igniter is the other character representing Undead. Man, this episode so far has been crazy in the Igniter and Spyro, but hey, I have no problems with that, because out of the 4 characters left, those 2 are definitely my favourites. Okay, let's try not to get attacked by these things, because we don't have invincibility, we just have double damage, and being hit by these things would mean the end for Igniter. And that is an end which I do not want this guy to meet, nevertheless. So let's not meet it, to say the least. Oh no, grenade is exactly what we needed. Okay, that's that full taken down. Okay, instant swap out. I'm using it. I know I shouldn't be using it this early, but I'm using it regardless. Whew. That was not O's, a good O's. So we're going to go with Legendary Slam Man right here once again. But I had no choice because of those grenades right there. Like, one more hit and this guy would have been done up. He probably would have been just fine, but it's a risk I don't want to take at this point. Like, you see there, that would have hit Igniter and he would have been defeated right there. Oh, come on, man. I freeze you in terms of my revenge. I would have froze you, but I just need to get out of here before that thing hits me again. So yeah, this is not as good. We've used up a power up. But hey, like I said, with only 4 characters left, I don't want to take too many unnecessary risks at this point. So our instant swap out has indeed been used up. But the only problem is that we're going into the arena with Sandman at such a low level, so it looks like we're going to lose this starter regardless, which would be a huge shame. One shame that I definitely want to avoid nevertheless, so let's try our best to avoid it, to say the least. Sandman, hopefully you got this, bro, I believe in you, so make sure my belief goes to good use now, will ya? And look at that, our double damage power up has pretty much been used up already as it is. That is unfortunate, to say the least. Okay, that's that thing lowered right there. Now, one thing I'm going to do is that because T-Rex is a starter pack Skylander for this game, I'm going to show you how to get his soul gem, just in case you still can't get it, because it is one of the hardest soul gems in the game to get. Understandable, considering that T-Rex is a starter pack character and it's the soul gem that you're going to want to get the most. But nevertheless, I'm going to show it off, not to mention I think there might be some food as well if you collect it. I mean in the same area, if that is. And no, there isn't any food in the same area, which is unfortunate to say the least. I really could be doing for some food right now. That's why I was hoping that Oryx sold us the regeneration power-up instead of the double damage power-up, but it just wasn't meant to be. And men, 4 power-ups, we used 2 of them in this episode, and 1 of them was used previously, so the only power-up we have left is for healing elixir. We could have used it before, but if we did, Igniter also would have died, and we would have wasted the power-up even more then, so it's definitely a good thing we did not use it, to say the least. But hey, we do have some last snippet of food right here, so that's our last snippet of hope. Let's just hope that we can hold on to that hope. And hopefully hopefully Slam Bam will not go down on this day! And here comes Pipsqueak. We can't lose to someone called Pipsqueak. Come on, Slam Bam, we got this. We all know Pipsqueak, but he is...
I knew starting my arena business near an all-knowing oracle was sure to attract all sorts of
And it seems like you knew right.
You've come a long way, but alas, the fun stops here.
Oh man, that's no good.
No, not your fun. The Skylanders' fun.
Great, sounds awesome, exactly what I've always wanted. I don't want my fun to end, but then again, the arena is very fun considering that you get to beat up a bunch of enemies in this video game, and of course, the combat in this game is the game's highlight. So as always, we're going to swap out each phase. So Slam Bam here only needs to survive the first. And put it like this, I know who I'm using with the phases after that, because we are not going back to Igniter with the health he is currently at, put it like that. I mean, I know he's good, but he's not good when he's got that much health left. Okay, watch out for those grenaders right there, because like I said, they will be the end of us if we are not careful. Nice try, fools. Thank heavens that sled does damage with this guy's wow power, because if it didn't, this guy would have been finished a long time ago. Yeah, we ain't even letting that guy shoot. Oh, yes! Exactly what we needed, some pizza. Thank you, game, for being so generous. Boom! Thank heavens for this, like, freezing attack right here, because if it weren't for that, Slam Bam would not be doing so well right now. But yeah, so far, Slam Bam has gone above and beyond, it feels. Like, he's been a big surprise for me, this Locke. So that's a good question, guys. As for the Skylanders, which one has surprised you the most? Like, which one do you think I've had the most surprise clutches with? Like, for me, that role definitely goes to Slam Bam right here. We were going to swap up the Spyro right here, getting that food before he goes into combat. So yeah, Slam Bam was definitely the one who surprised me the most. He's done clutches which I never thought he could do. Okay, we got a little bit of food from that, so that'll give us around about 2 hits, so hopefully we can use those 2 hits wisely with this guy. Because losing him after only just getting him back would be awful nevertheless. And then Trigger Happy is going to be used for the final phase, of course. That was close, I almost ran straight into that, but fortunately for us, I did not do that. Like, heavens this guy has a charge attack, because if he didn't, it would be so much more harder to get at that mucus right there, because it slows you down. Yeah, thank heavens for that charge attack, as I mentioned previously. It's really what's helping us, like, avoid this guy right now. What the hell is this guy doing? He's going everywhere right now. He's going to be defeated by that sword if he ain't careful. Nice, he's downed. But is he out? Not yet. Well, he's out, but these guys are. Oh no, exactly what we needed. Cyclopses and a Slobber and Muticus, because Cyclopses can do that. Because Cyclopses can be so cheap. Oh nice, there's that guy taken down. Okay, we've got to watch out that blade right there. I was going to go round originally, but then I realised, oh no, I went into the blade, so we're going to have to change my tactic a little bit here. Yeah, we got to watch out for those blades, because they'll be the end of us. One more hit and Spyro's done, and I'm not about to accept that. No way, Jose. Whew, this is intense right now. For you guys and for me. Oh man, my heart is pounding so much right now. Thank you, Saw. I love you.
Okay, so you got lucky twice.
Spyro lives to fight another day. That's what I meant to say right now. Why did I sweat so much for that? What a shame, nonetheless. Either way, let's take this food off and place on a Trigger Happy. Okay guys, let's get into this third and final round with, of course, legendary Trigger Happy, and I'm going to have to explain why some things look a little inconsistent in this episode, in this part of the episode, to what they did previously in the episode, of course. And that's going to come in once I beat this arena right here, because right now I want to focus solely on arena rather than focusing on my commentary instead. So like I said, I'll get into the reasons why this video is a little bit inconsistent in a second right here. Oh, I hate that spinning move so much right now. Now die. Oh, that fool got out of the sword just in time. What an idiot. Well, it's good for him, but not so great for us, which is why I'm calling him an idiot, I suppose. Which, you know, is not an idiotic thing for him to do. I'm just annoyed by it, so I'm calling him an idiot. You know, it makes sense, because even things that are not idiotic, you know, you say idiot for anyway, just because you're frustrated at it, I suppose. This is actually quite smart I moved that way. I'm just saying idiot, because like I said before, I kind of wanted him to die right there, but he didn't. So I stood with him. Okay, let's not do that right there, because let's take down the grenaders instead. That would be a much better idea on my behalf, because the grenaders are a nuisance, especially with how they bombard you with stuff from a huge distance. It's even worse when there's more of them, because there's more chances of even more grenades hitting you than usual. Okay, we're just going to take this guy down with that. Oh, wait, never mind. Looks like he's firing at us. So it's time for us to fire back. Hopefully I won't miss this one. Nice! For once I didn't miss. Oh, what a glorious day this has been. And I tell you what, that charm that we got in the previous level, oh no, it was 2 levels before that actually, Drill X's Big Rig. Oh, I know, it was the previous level, what am I talking about? So it seems like the charm that we did get in the previous level, which allowed us to deal extra damage against big enemies, is definitely being put to some great use right here. Take that, fool. Oh no, that's the exact thing that I wanted to avoid. And the exact thing that I wanted to avoid is basically the exact thing that just happened right now. Now that is frustrating beyond relief. You guys can believe me on that one. But hey, at least we took one of them down, and that's what matters. But now we can't get a single hit by one of those guys, or else Trigger Happy, he's a done for. And I really don't want him to be done for, because I want to keep as many Skylanders going into the next wave as next levels even as possible. Oh, thank you, game. Okay, we got some food from that, which I would quite happily grab, if it weren't for the fact that I'm terrified of this bird right now. Literally terrified, because it'll mean the end of me. Oh, what do you know? Pipsqueak is ready to take us on, but is he going to fail taking us on? Of course he is! It's the Pipsqueak. What do you expect from a character called Pipsqueak? Okay, I'm so scared of you right now. Oh, so scared! Oh, that's just pathetic right there, dude.
Now you're in trouble.
Now I literally am in trouble, because you has no trouble whatsoever, but the Shadow Duke, I can assure you, is the complete opposite of him in the fact that he is indeed trouble. Now, food! I seriously want it right now. And unfortunately, the big enemy's charm doesn't work in this guy, which is unfortunate for Flash, but I love the design of this enemy, it's so cool. Why didn't we see more of this enemy in this game? It would have been so cool to see him, like, return. Oh, great, exactly what I wanted. Grenaders. Not really, they're exactly the complete opposite of what I wanted. Please don't hit me, grenades, I beg of thee. You're so cheap, and of course, so many cheap deaths. At least I think they have. I can't remember how many Skylanders have died to grenades. Not many, but they still create cheap deaths in the flesh, which was one of the ones that Chill suffered, not from a grenade, but from an enemy that was cheap in the flesh. Okay, go on, dude, go on. There you do, there you do. There you to strike, there you to strike, there you to strike. Oh, come on, this guy is not striking me right now. There we go, now he's struck. Yeah, when he strikes, he leaves himself open, which is why I was daring him to do that right now. Okay, what we're going to do is we're just going to shoot our bullets everywhere and hope to God that they hit someone. Which is basically the whole tactic of Trigger Happy anyway, so that's very much the tactic we are applying right here. So now I'm going to focus a bit more on my Shadow Duke, because it's a lot easier to avoid getting hit by the Cyclopses. And so once the Shadow Duke is taken down, the Cyclops will be taken down. Also, the moment you take down the small guy, the bigger guys, the moment where the small guys go down. Oh, great, exactly what we need. 3 of them? No, that's just overkill, game. Come on. Watch out for that. My bullets go nowhere right now. Please die, someone. That would be really satisfying right now if one of you were to just peel over and die and just leave me be. But hey, at least we got some good hits in our machine gun right there, and we can't continue that, or else that Cyclops would hit us. Okay, there we go, that's that Cyclops taken out. Okay, now that the Cyclops is, well, most of the Cyclops is taken out, it'll be easier to machine gun these guys down. And luckily for us, there isn't any life spell bugs hitting up this guy right now, so that's convenient. At least he won't regain any health, or what he'll do is take damage and not regain anything health we take from dealing such damage to him. Okay, there we go, there's the Cyclops taken out by the looks of it. Now let's get the hell out of the way of that right there, because that is not a good thing, as I've mentioned previously, because of course we want to deal as much damage as possible and take as little damage as possible. And nice, we've very much got him right here, and those were some cheesy grins in those guys right there. They look like they glitched out, and it seems like my phone's notifications wasn't turned off for this here recording session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn them off once I'm done finishing this particular episode. And yes, I did, because I'm awesome like that, even though it wasn't particularly hard, because, you know, what can you expect from a Cyclops called Pipsqueak, right? I mean, his name is Pipsqueak, and his personality is just like his name, in the fact that Pipsqueak, kind of implies cowardness, and cowardness he definitely has. And I'm sorry if your guy's name is Pipsqueak and you're the complete opposite of cowardly, but, you know, what has had to be said has been said. Either way, this is normally the part where I'd end off the episode, but like I mentioned previously, I had some explaining to do. So you guys wondering how come for No Lives Lost objective isn't ticked, even though we did get No Lives Lost in this level, fortunately, thanks to my awesome skill, as Flynn would put it, of course. And that's purely because what happened is that if you guys have been following me on Instagram, you would know that some of my files got corrupted. Now I was able to fix a lot of the footage, so I was able to get the footage up until the end of round 2, but everything from round 2 onwards was corrupted, so I completely lost all that data. So what I had to do is I had to replay the level to get back to the end of round, to the start of round 3, so that I could re-record that with Legendary Trick Happy, as you can see right here. And what wound up happening from that is some people might have died along the way, so you do, Gilbert. But hey, what matters is that we did get through this level nevertheless, and we did actually get no lives lost, despite the fact that the objective does not say that we did. Anyways, clearly enough about this episode has been said and done. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one, but until then, peace.